And you tell him that if he doesn't have the money ready by next Wednesday, it'll be the worse for him. Because that's when I want it most. Boy, how'd you spell particular?
I don't know.
You don't know? Is that all? Haven't you been taught how to speak respectful to your elders?
I don't know, Mr. Kedge, sir.
It's better. You best mind your manners with me, boy, if you do want another taste of the rope's end. That's when I want it most particular. Your ever loving Amos. You can go and not before. Now, just for that, you can look forward to another taste of this when I get back.
Nothing, Abbott? Nothing? You had the whole county constabulary out for 2 days and you discovered nothing.
We've done all that could be done, Sir Radlett. There isn't a copse or a spinney that we haven't searched. We've even tracked the river, but the boys just vanished.
And what excuses? I want my grandson. We tried bloodhounds.
The first thing we tried, sir, they picked up a trail at the point where the maid said she'd left Master John, but it didn't lead anywhere.
Not good enough, Abbott, do you hear? Not good enough. Catching an occasional poacher taxes your fellows to the limit. A thing like this is quite beyond them.
I wouldn't say that, sir.
I would. Now, the Chief Commissioner of Scotland Yard is a personal friend of mine. Tell him you need the assistance of his detective department.
I don't think that's entirely necessary, sir.
Don't argue with me, Inspector. Do as you're told.
Inspector, I will not attempt to apologize for my father-in-law's attitude. I can only say that both my wife and myself appreciate your efforts in trying to trace my son.
Thank you, Mr. Medway. It's true I haven't had my boots off for 48 hours, but... well, we'll do our very best, ma'am.
Yes, I'm sure you will.
Those saving your wife's presence. Sir Radlett had no call to speak to me like that. I'm the senior officer hereabouts, and it's up to me to make the decisions.
Yes, sir. Quite agree. Have you made any?
Yes, sir. I'm going to call in the detective department. Well, I'd better be setting about it. Good night, sir. Mom?
Good night.
Why don't you go upstairs and try to sleep, dearest? I'm sure they'll find him safe and unharmed.
Oh, Charles. Mr. Charles, have they gone?
Yes, sir. There's no news about John, I'm afraid.
I know where he is. You found him? No, but I know where he is. When I got home, this was on the map. Well, what is it? What does it say?
Amos. Amos Kedge?
It couldn't be anybody else.
And they're calling in the detective department.
Oh, Charlie, I don't mind going, not the least. If they wanted our assistance, they might let us know before the trails became cold.
Well, you know what these county constabularies are like. They're very jealous of their own authorities. In fact, I gathered from what the commissioner said, it was Sir Radlett Granger who insisted we were called in.
Ah.
Yes, come in.
According to Bradshaw, there's a train to Chelford at 9:10. It gets in at 12:15.
What, 3 hours? Could be quicker walking, lad.
Well, it stops at Little Midgham, Upper Filston, Salisbury, Market Fenton, Lower Benton...
Lord Benton, all right, lad, all right. Don't go on about it.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. The sergeant would have to be sent out of London this week. He'll be furious if he misses the smoker.
The smoker, sir?
Just a little get-together we have, occasionally. Just the people from the detective department and half a dozen others from the division. No women, of course. Haven't you got a ticket?
Well, I don't think I'll be free. What actually happened?
Well, we hire the upstairs room of the Druid's Head, and we give the landlord some money and tell him to keep us supplied with beer and faggots till it runs out.
Druid's Head, sir.
Well, it's only an informal social occasion, you know. We make our own entertainment. Piano, you see. We have a sing-song. But if one of the company happens to have an exceptionally fine voice, he may be asked to contribute a solo.
Yeah.
And, of course, there's Sergeant Cork's dramatic recitation.
It's what?
Dramatic recitation, oh, yes. He always does one. Usually of a patriotic nature. Last year it was the charge of the Light Brigade.
You know, sir, I think I would like a ticket after all.
I thought perhaps you might. Yes, Marriott. Now, a word in your ear. The sergeant takes his monologue very seriously. In fact, he'd be very upset if he wasn't asked to oblige. If he should forget the words, keep your thoughts to yourself, eh?
Annie, what the devil's keeping you?
Coming, son.
Man will live and die.
Good morning, Mr. Brundle. This is Mr. Cork and Mr. Marriott. I've booked their rooms.
See to that, sir. Take these bags upstairs, will you?
Can I offer you some refreshment after your journey?
That's very civil of you, Inspector. Then we can carry on our conversation. But I insist on doing the honours. Lad, order 3 pints of mine host's best ale, will you?
Well, yes.
Thank you.
2 pints and a half for me, please.
Yes, sir.
Now, Inspector, did you report very thoroughly? Apparently the missing boy is a Master John Medway. His grandfather is Sir Radlett Granger, local lord of the manor, I believe.
Oh, it's all of that, Sergeant. Chelford Manor. Take my advice and treat him very gently.
Well, I intend to extend to him the usual courtesies, yes.
Well, it to be as well to do more. He's not a man to be trifled with. I didn't actually see it myself, but they do say hereabouts that a few years back he horsewhipped the vicar. Objected to a sermon the poor fellow preached. Thought it smacked of radicalism. Something about it being easier for camels to get into heaven than rich men. Well, Sir Radlett took it very personal.
According to your report, sir, the boy was in the care of Mrs. Medway's maid, Sarah Fincham. She left him playing by the river while she went to see her sick mother. Well, isn't it possible that he fell into the river and was drowned?
Oh, we thought of that, but it isn't likely. Besides, the little lad could swim like a minnow.
Thank you, my man. Thank you. Well, no. Keep the change. Have a drink with us, will you?
Thank you. Besides, eventually his body would have fetched up at the lock where the river runs into the Grand Junction Canal. I asked the lockkeeper to keep a special eye out.
So either the boy has run away or been kidnapped, huh?
Well, if he's been kidnapped, isn't it surprising there's been no demand for ransom?
I doubt if he'd run away. As for the other, well, Sir Radlett does have enemies. He's a local JP, and a lot of people think that some of his decisions are a bit harsh.
Oh, so revenge could be a possible motive, hmm?
Well, if he's been abducted, isn't it rather fortuitous that the maid left him when she did?
No, you're wrong there, Mr. Marriott. No, Sarah's above suspicion. She's been in service at the manor since she was a child, just as her mother was before her, and her mother before that. Now, the Grangers have served the Finchams have served the Granger family for generations.
Ah, how very feudal, hmm?
Well, there's benefits on both sides. Sir Radlett looked after Sarah's mother when she had a bit of trouble.
What was that?
Well, when she was Lady Granger's maid, she got herself in the family way. Wouldn't tell who Sarah's father was, but the family looked after her. Apart from a wigging from the head butler, nothing more was said.
I never realized what rich social tapestries rural England had, eh?
Oh, they even gave her a cottage rent-free and a bit of a pension for when she was passing.
Yeah.
Not that they'll have to pay that much longer. From what I hear, the old lady's already at death's door.
Well, I may wish to question the maid later. I think we'd better start our inquiries in the village and the outlying hamlets. The boy can't disappear without leaving some sort of trace.
Well, we've a fair bit of walking to do if we're going to cover the whole district.
Then perhaps you'll accompany Mr. Marriott, will you?
Yeah.
Me? Aren't you coming, son?
Oh, no, Dad, no. It's nothing more partial than a nice bracing walk in the country air, but I think I'd better go to the manor first. First of all, I spend an hour or two in my room cogitating. I'll see you later, Inspector. Carry on, boy, will you? Carry on.
Son?
Well, now, I think we'll start over at 4 Acre Farm and come down by Long Spinney into Swindley's Copse. From there we can cross over by Sedgley Dell to
Well, it
Milton
sounds
Moor.
very pleasant, I must say.
Oh, it's a very pretty walk on a day like this, Mr. Marriott, and not much more than 12 miles, all told.
Thank you, ma'am. Cucumber sandwich will be most acceptable. Thank you. I believe you normally reside in London.
We have apartments in Bloomsbury. My husband finds it convenient for the British Museum.
Oh, you are a librarian, sir?
No. No, I am an author. I find the reading room very useful and quiet.
Oh, very interesting. I've possibly read some of your books,
I think it unlikely, Sergeant.
Well, I do read occasionally, sir.
Oh, please don't misunderstand me. I merely doubted if you subscribe to the Gentlewoman's Almanac.
The gentle... no, I can't say that I do, no.
I thought not. Most of my work appears in that publication. I contribute short stories of an uplifting and highly unremunerative nature.
Dearest, you mustn't denigrate your talent like that. Everyone agrees that your stories are very wholesome.
Thank you, dearest.
Forgive me for asking rather a personal question, sir, but is this your sole means of income?
No, I'm afraid, sir. It allows us a degree of comfort that rarely strays into real affluence.
But we expect great improvement when my husband's 4-volume novel is published.
Oh, and when will that be?
It's difficult to say. Well, I haven't started it yet.
Oh, and this is your only expectation, sir?
When my father... that is, when our son inherits my father's estate, our circumstances should be much improved.
And please don't ask me when that will be, Sergeant. My father-in-law enjoys the rudest of health. Frankly, I pin my hopes on the 4-volume novel.
As you observed yourself, Sergeant, these are somewhat personal questions.
But not irrelevant, ma'am. If your son has been kidnapped, from what you just told me, I mean, it would indicate someone who has no knowledge of your financial position.
I don't quite follow.
Well, if I may put it bluntly, sir, what's the point in kidnapping your son if you haven't got the money to pay for the ransom?
We don't think he has been kidnapped, Sergeant.
Don't you, ma'am? What do you think has happened to him?
Well, he's run off somewhere. He's lost, perhaps, but we're quite sure that he'll be found safe and well.
Well, I don't know quite what to say. I was given to understand it was a matter of the utmost gravity.
But not by us, Sergeant. My wife and I were well satisfied with the efforts of the local police.
I'm most surprised at your complacency. This is obviously not shared by Sir Radlett.
We disagree on a number of things.
So I've been told. He disapproved of your marriage, I believe.
Yes. In fact, he threatened to horsewhip me.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's an instinctive reaction when he's cross.
For 2 years after our marriage, he forbade any mention of my name in the house. In fact, it wasn't until after John was born that we became reconciled.
Though he still liked to horsewhip me.
You see, we're a very old family, and there's always been a son to carry on the family name. I'm afraid I was a great disappointment to him.
It's a wonder he didn't horsewhip your mother.
Charles.
Oh, my apologies, dear. It's quite uncalled for.
Of course, your son would not carry on the family name, would he?
The entail provides that the estate should go to the nearest male heir. To my father, it's the bloodline that matters. Failing John, the next in succession would be a 14th cousin in America.
And Sir Radlett emphatically disapproves of Americans. In fact, he disapproves of so many things that social conversation has become well-nigh impossible.
And your circumstances, if I may put it, you say less than affluent.
Modest.
Indeed, modest. Yet you maintain servants.
One servant, Sarah.
Well, even so, one servant.
Sarah is very loyal.
That is, she doesn't expect much money.
Well, loyalty is a rare quality these days.
Well, you see, Sergeant, she was my personal maid. In a way, I suppose you could say that we almost grew up together.
Yeah.
After our marriage, she remained here for some time, and then she came to our London home to work.
Not a sign of the damn boy anywhere. Well, who the devil are you? Sergeant Cork, sir. Detective Department.
Ah, the police Johnny down from London, eh? Well, I'll expect results. Cork, you hear? Results. Abbott hasn't produced any. Thick fellow, Abbott. You thick, Cork?
I hope not, sir, no.
Oh, one of the clever ones, eh? That's just as bad. Worse, in fact. I mistrust intelligence, Cork. The constabulary should consist entirely of sound fellows who are just a trifle stupid.
We are unable to recruit from the aristocracy, sir.
Melissa, take your husband elsewhere. I want to talk to the sergeant without interruption.
I haven't said a word.
Come, dearest.
Well, Cork, what conclusions have you come to?
Well, sir, your daughter and son-in-law seem to be taking the situation quite calmly.
Oh, you don't need to pay any attention to him.
Well, after all, he is the boy's father, sir.
I'm well aware of the fact. You don't think he'd be allowed through that door if he hadn't gotten a boy child on my daughter, do you?
I have some slight knowledge of your domestic attitude, sir, but that does not interest me. What does interest me is the name of anyone in the district who might bear you a grudge, sir.
What nonsense is this? Who'd bear me a grudge? Who'd dare to?
We are considering the possibility that your grandson has been kidnapped by someone as an act of revenge, sir.
Oh, put it out of your mind, Cork. These people are all good yeoman stock and well aware of the natural order of society.
And what is that, sir?
If you have the obligation to rule, the remainder have a duty to respect them for it. The whole arrangements work splendidly for several centuries.
I suspect a slight resentment is beginning to creep in.
Cork, being a creature of the cities, you may not understand this, but to the people of this district, the Granger family have always been patriarchs, fathers to the people. Usually benevolent, occasionally stern, but always patriarchs.
I know, but times are changing, sir.
Not in this part of the world. Oh, you may find a few rascals among them, but no radicals.
Not even the vicar, sir?
That whole affair has been grossly exaggerated. If you find out anything, report to me immediately. The servant will show you out.
Sir.
Good day.
Well, God bless the squire and all his relations.
Try and sleep, Mother. Dr. Bulstrode will be round later.
Quietly now, quietly. We don't want to wake the whole parish, do we?
I never thought I'd see you again, Amos Kedge.
Likely it didn't, but I'm here just the same. So let's have a proper look at one another.
Where's John?
You'll see him soon enough if you've done what you've been told. Oh, come on now. What sort of a welcome is this after all we've been to one another? You've got nothing to say to me, huh?
Yes. Why isn't this world a safe place and you locked up in Portland prison?
Ticket to leave.
Ticket to leave?
Aye.
After you nearly killed a man.
All that's been paid for in the last 10 years. They let me go last January. I've been working the narrowboats on the Grand Junction Canal ever since.
Back on the cut, are you? Well, the canal's the right place for your sort. The eels, dead dogs, and your sort.
Aren't you forgetting the man I nearly killed?
I'm forgetting nothing. Just you keep your voice down. My mother's dying in there.
Right. You didn't ought to speak to me like that. Didn't always feel like that about me. And I've got your letters to prove it. Forgot about the letters, didn't you? But I've kept them, every last one.
I never had none to keep.
Ah, well, you see, not much of a hand at writing, Sarah. Can't see as I even rightly know how. But I thought about you. I thought about you a lot. And then one day, who do I see walking along the towpath but my own sweet Sarah and the little lad? And I thought back on the letters.
The police are searching now. Not just the local police, are down from London. I had a man here earlier asking me questions.
Don't you worry yourself about that. It's all took care of.
Supposing you were wrong. You thought of that?
No, if I'd been wrong, there'd have been a dozen peelers waiting for me behind that door. No, Sarah. You proved I weren't wrong. You know, after 10 years of skilly and sermons, you look even better than I remembered.
If you've any mind to carry on where you left off, you can forget it.
Right. Right. Still, with money in my pockets, I can find somebody who looks even better, eh? When do you expect him?
Soon.
Thank you. Thank you, my man. Thank you. Thank you. Brigade.
I've walked about 12 miles since lunchtime.
In the report, boy?
Yes, I twisted my ankle getting over a stile, stepped in one of those big... Ugh, I'm tired and hungry. All I want now is my dinner.
Ah, it's really excellent. Roast duckling, boiled potatoes, green peas, ripe Stilton for afters. Pity you missed it, boy. Pity. I've asked Mr. Brundle to keep you a sandwich or two.
Very thoughtful. You know, I must have questioned every yokel, gaffer, and village idiot in the place. They could tell me nothing.
Gypsy encampments?
Gypsy encampments would be romantic, isn't it?
I beg your pardon? Obviously, lack of food is making you impertinent as well as lightheaded.
No, I mean stolen away by the gypsies. That's the sort of thing Mother used to frighten me with.
Perhaps she was indulging in wishful thinking. I'm not suggesting the gypsies actually stole the boy, but they may have seen him. They move about a lot, you know.
Yes, that's true. Well, there are no gypsy encampments. So do barges.
So do barges what?
Move around a lot. There's one more down by the lock.
35, 40, 45, 50.
That's what you asked for.
Aye, and that's what I've got. Yeah. Sticky. Still, I don't reckon they'll lose any value from that.
She's getting worse, Mr. Charles. Should I go?
Yes, you run along and fetch Dr. Bulstrode, Sarah. We won't be here much longer.
Bring the lad up to the manor. You know what the story is.
I know what the story is. I could kill you for this kedge.
Not bad for a start.
There doesn't appear to be anyone at home. Yes, it's locked. I don't fancy hanging around here all night. Chances are he won't be able to tell us anything anyway.
Just a moment.
What is it?
I hear something moving. Could be a cat or a dog, I suppose, but... There's a light on, but I can't see anything.
Well, the lockkeeper's cottage is over there. Maybe he knows where the bargee is.
Go and find out there, will you? Is there anyone down there?
Who's there?
Is there anyone there?
Who's there, Mr. Cage? Help! 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 Help!
Young fellow, my lad. Letters of Mary Downs, haven't you? And, some stickjaw. Come on, Kent. Keep your mouth shut.
Let go of me. Take your hands off me, will you? I come quiet tonight.
Listen to him. Quietly, it says. He took 3 of our fellas to hold him. Oh, he's a rough one, this, and no mistake.
Look, I'm coming back to me barge, and all of a sudden I see this cove coming up out of the cabin, so naturally I says to myself, Amos, he's thieving you. Well, naturally I go for him, and the next thing I know, there's half a dozen peelers on me back, and I'm dragged off here.
You know very well why. You kidnapped Mr. Medway's son.
Well, that's what these peelers said,
A
but
pack of lies, Sergeant.
I explained to them, I never kidnapped the boy, he stowed away.
What preposterous rubbish.
He hid himself among the cargo, and I was 6 miles and 20 locks up the canal before I knew
Look,
it.
we have a statement from the boy. You lured him in the cabin and kept him there.
Oh, no, he never said that, did he? Well, if you'll excuse my remarking, that lad's been spoiled. Needs a strong hand, like. I mean, fancy making up a story like that. Not that you take the word of a nipper against the word of a grown man.
My grandson is not the liar.
Well, he must be to make up a story like that.
It's a sight more plausible than the rubbish you've been talking. We discovered the boy. Why didn't you take him to the nearest police station?
Well, I never thought of that. Mind you, it was on my mind to let his folks know where he was, but he just wouldn't tell me his name. He just kept saying he was running off to sea. Well, now, I knew he must have come from Chelford because that was my last stop. So I says to myself, Amos, when you get back there, you ask about a lost boy.
You've been here since this morning. Just where did you make your inquiries?
Well, I had a lot of other things to do first, but I locked him in the cabin so he couldn't run off again.
I think we've heard enough, Sergeant. Clearly, this man is guilty.
I agree, sir. Inspector, you want to charge this man at the station, won't you?
No, wait. I believe he's telling the truth.
What?
My son has a vivid imagination. It would be regrettable if an innocent man were unjustly accused.
Sir, I questioned the boy myself. You heard his answers.
Yes, I formed the opinion that he was lying.
Mrs. Medway.
I am forced to agree with my husband.
You agree?
There you are. I told
Be
you.
quiet, will you? You have the evidence here on eyes, sir. The boy was beaten.
John is rather undisciplined. I'm sure Mr. Kedge administered only as much chastisement as was necessary.
Aye, that's right. A touch of the ropes and never hurt any nipper.
Have you both gone raving mad? Allow me to share your surprise, sir. Look, I'm telling you, that man is lying.
And I'm convinced that he is not. As the boy's father, I believe I have the right to press charges or otherwise.
You have, sir, yes.
Then I choose not to.
Medway, I've never pretended any high regard for you. Indeed, I've always suspected a mental weakness somewhere. But, Melissa, you're trying to tell me...
I entirely agree with my husband.
Oh. It appears that you are free to go.
And it's only right I should be. In fact, the Summers might think I was entitled to a reward for bringing the lad back.
All right, Merritt, take him away.
Come on, Kedge, outside with you.
Really, sir, I'm at a loss. I mean, won't you reconsider?
My mind is made up, Sergeant.
No point in my being here any longer. Good night, you, sir. Good night, you, Mark.
Who's that? Bert, is that you? Hello? And what do you want?
Yes, I know. Yes, sir. Still, very unsatisfactory conclusion. Still, it has its compensations. Back in time for the smoker.
Oh, yes, the superintendent mentioned that. I'll be along myself.
Glad you're going, boy. Glad you're going. If only for Charlie Rodway's sake. It's a big event in his life, you know. We feel obliged to ask him to give a song, and he gets very disappointed if we don't ask.
Well, I'll applaud very loudly.
Do that. And don't laugh when he sort of cracks on the top note.
How do you know he will?
Well, he always has done. For the last 12 years, been land of my fathers. He's never reached the top note yet.
I understand that you sometimes deliver a monologue.
Only if they insist. I sincerely hope they don't do this time as... Not that I had anything prepared, really.
Well, I'm sure they will. After
No.
all, you're about-
Ah, Sergeant. I was hoping to catch you before you retired.
Ah, Inspector. Is there something amiss?
A great deal, I'm afraid. It's Amos Kedge.
Obviously, he didn't die by drowning. There's blood on the end of this. He was struck down and toppled into the water. You say the lockkeeper saw someone running away from the barge,
Yeah. He'd arranged with Kedge to have a game of cribbage, and he was on his way here when it happened. About 9 o'clock, he said. Then he saw the body in the water. I'm assuming the robbery was motive. I've instructed all my men to question every tramp and vagabond in the area.
Pity he couldn't recognize the person he saw.
Yes. Well, we found these on the body. Postmarked 1883. They may be of some use in tracing the next of kin.
Yes, thank you very much.
Pardon?
What?
Sergeant? £50. I found them in a jug by the stove, the most obvious place in the world. I'll venture that theft wasn't the motive.
No, I never thought it was that. These are rather sticky, aren't they?
Yes, as if something's been spilled on them, quite recently, too. They smell like laudanum.
Laudanum? Is there any in the cabin?
No.
Come take a look, will you?
Has your assistant discovered anything of value?
If you consider £50 valuable, yes.
Oh, you do surprise me, Sergeant. I shouldn't have thought that a man like Kedge would have 50 pennies.
All right. Tell me, Inspector, where in Chelford would one obtain a supply of laudanum?
Oh, I should think that Dr. Bulstrode would be likely to have some.
Bulstrode? Wonder if you can let me have his address. I'd like a word with him and... Good heavens.
What is it, Sergeant?
Just a thought, Inspector. A wild, improbable thought.
It's just signed Sarah. Could be Sarah Jones or Sarah Brown. It doesn't have to be Sarah Fincham.
Well, the sergeant's very attached to his theory, sir.
And I'm equally attached to my job. No, the whole thing's too wild by half.
Well, we traced the laudanum on the notes to Sarah Fincham. The doctor said he'd given her some. The dates on the letters seem to fit in, 1883, now that we know that Kedge spent the last 10 years in Portland Prison. Yes, I agree. The birth certificate is a problem. According to the records, a son was born to Charles and Melissa Medway in a Marylebone nursing home. I'll check up on that.
Yes, you better. Sir Redhead Granger could cause us a lot of trouble. He knows the commissioner. They went to the same school. I wouldn't be at all surprised they still see quite a lot of each other. Go shooting together, no doubt. No. You tell the sergeant he was sent down there to find a missing boy, not to investigate a murder. The murder has nothing at all to do with us. You tell him that.
Well, if you insist, sir, I don't think he'll listen.
No. Don't suppose he will. Tell him he'll miss the smoker.
Forward, the Light Brigade. Was the demand dismayed? Not that the soldier knew. Someone had blundered. Theirs not to make reply. Theirs not to reason why. Theirs but to do and die. Into the valley of death. Into the valley... Oh, damn.
Into the valley of death rode the 600.
Well, there you are, boy, there you are. I wasn't expecting you to later. Anything to tell me?
Yes, several things.
Yeah.
Firstly, Kedge was a convict out on license. He'd spent the last 10 years in Portland.
How very interesting. Carry on.
Well, according to the records, a son was born to Charles and Melissa Medway exactly 10 years ago.
10 years ago, 1883.
Yes, I spoke to the doctor who officiated.
Well, what did he have to say?
Well, he pointed out in rather an unnecessarily brusque manner, I thought, that as he delivered several hundred babies since then, he couldn't be expected to know what all the mothers looked like.
Of course, he has a point there. And he didn't remember the birth.
On the contrary, remembers this woman very well. Apparently, Charles Medway was very solicitous, used to call every day.
And the doctor found that surprising?
No. The thing he found strange was that a man as cultured and well-bred as Charles Medway should be married to someone so obviously beneath his station, to someone, as he put it, who was obviously an uneducated country girl.
Did he? Did he indeed? So, none of you can account for your movements at the time of the murder.
Sergeant, your whole attitude is absurd. What possible reason could any of us have for killing Kedge? It's not as if he'd harmed my son in any way.
Your son, Mr. Medway?
And what precisely are you implying, Sergeant?
I have reason to believe that Amos Kedge was the boy's father, sir.
That, Sergeant, is an outrageous slander against my character.
It would be, ma'am, if I didn't have equal reason to believe that you are not the boy's mother.
You realize, of course, that by making this ludicrous statement, you lay yourself open to legal action.
I do, sir, but I doubt if you'd take it.
Well, speak up, Medway.
Pray, who is the mother if my wife is not?
Well, this lady here, as you well know. All right, married?
We found some letters she sent to Kedge years ago. They leave no doubt that she was expecting a child and that he was the father.
Not a very sound basis for a serious accusation, do you think?
I made inquiries at the hospital where the child was born. The description of the mother was not that of your wife, sir.
I wonder if they'd swear to the accuracy of their recollection after 10 years.
Perhaps not, sir, but the two things combined do support a certain line of thought.
I'm sure the Chief Commissioner will find your thoughts as fantastic as I do. Clearly, you are an imbecile.
Judge yourself, sir. Sarah, your former maid, leaves the manor and joins an establishment which can ill afford her services. Why?
I just thought it would be nice to work
Was
for
that the
Mr.
real reason? Or was it because you found yourself in trouble and Mrs. Medway was the only person you could turn to? Do you seek to hide your disgrace in London?
Oh, no, that wasn't the reason.
Letters, ma'am, the letters. We have the letters. It's all in the letters. Kedge wrote to you as much. Perhaps you'd care to tell us the rest of the story, sir.
As a professional author, I'm ashamed to admit that I lack your powers of invention.
Oh, forgive me, ma'am, but until then your union had not been blessed with issue. Perhaps you suspect it never would be.
What common insolence. Charles, strike him.
Well, don't be absurd.
I apologize, ma'am, but I must pursue my thoughts. I believe that Miss Fincham here was installed in a London nursing home in your name, and the child was passed off as your own.
Fantasy. Pure fantasy.
Is it? Consider the position. Mother and child are together, with no disgrace to either. Sir Radlett here gets his long-desired heir. The parents benefit from the inheritance. There's something in it for everyone. I suggest Kedge found out about this and that he was blackmailing you.
I did not murder Kedge.
Oh, I never imagined for a moment you did, sir.
Sergeant, one moment you accuse my son-in-law, the next moment you declare his innocence. Who are you accusing? Me?
No, sir. Since you had no knowledge of the deception, you could have no motive.
Who are you accusing, then?
I believe Dr. Bulstrode gave us some laudanum last week, ma'am.
Yes, my mother was in pain. He said it would help.
Can you account for your movements around 9 o'clock at the night that Kedge was murdered?
No, I can't remember. It's all confused. My mother was took bad. I was with her.
Since you cannot confirm your statements, I suggest you come along to the police station for further inquiries.
Oh, but I didn't kill him. I swear I didn't. No.
One moment, Sergeant. I'd like a word with you in private.
No, sir. Wait outside, will you, man?
Come on.
Really, Cork, I must protest against this in the strongest terms.
That's enough, Medway. I said I wanted to speak to the sergeant in private.
Well, what I have to say shall be said in the most public manner possible.
Out!
You're a clever fellow, Cork. Too clever, perhaps. Do you follow me? I'm already aware of your opinions on the subject, sir.
Too clever by half. Don't refuse. I consider it impertinent. The girl's innocent, you know. And I won't have her treated like this. Do you hear?
I have to do what I think is best, sir. I am a police officer investigating a crime.
And I'm talking about Sarah. She and her mother serve this family, and we look after our own, Cork.
Are you threatening me, sir, with your influence?
I am not threatening you with my influence, Cork. No. You realize that your whole case against her depends on this nonsense you dreamt up about John being a changeling.
I am sorry if it's been a shock to you, sir, but I cannot ignore the evidence which exists.
Answer me straight, Cork. If I thought the boy was not my grandson, do you think I'd tolerate his presence for one moment?
No, sir. I think you'll kick all three of them downstairs.
You're right. You can't ignore evidence, you say. Now, let me show you something. Something that hasn't seen the light of day this many a year.
It's, daguerreotype, sir.
I know what it is. What does it show?
There's a woman and a boy. And the boy is Master John.
The woman is my mother. The boy is me, and this was taken 50 years ago.
No, it's your spit and image, sir.
Family likenesses run strong in the Grangers. There's a portrait gallery upstairs that's full of them. For generations back, they all look alike. Now, do you still say that my grandson is a product of a bargee in a servant cap?
Must be some mistake, sir.
And what does this do to your fine theories, eh?
Well, it leaves them in shreds, sir. I don't know what to say. All I can do is to offer you my abject apology and also to the other members of your household.
Don't grovel, Cork. I just want an admission from your own lips. There's no question but that the boy is my grandson.
In the face of this evidence, sir, I would declare it from the rooftops.
Too clever behalf. Ah, well, you did well enough in finding the boy, I suppose, and that counts in your favor. And now you release that girl and leave the solving of this murder to the local constabulary. Not that it matters much. The fellow was a rascal, should never have been let out of prison anyway. Drink up your brandy and go.
Good day to you, sir.
Good day, Cork.
And how precisely did you know, sir, that Kedge had been in prison?
You told me.
Oh, no, I didn't, sir. The Medways wouldn't tell you either. Neither would Sarah.
Well, really, Cork, I can't really remember exactly who
I
told
think it
me.
was Kedge, sir. Went to see him that night at the barge. He told her the boy was not your grandson, threatened to make a public scandal if he didn't pay him. And you killed him.
Ha! So you're back on that again, are you? The boy is my grandson. You can believe the evidence of your own eyes.
Oh, yes,
can't you?
sir. I've already noted the family resemblance.
Cork, you would be well advised not to proceed any further without the strongest possible proof.
I doubt if I could proceed any further at this point, sir, but should an innocent person be accused of this crime, I will move heaven and earth to obtain that proof.
As the local justice, I think I can reassure you on that point.
I wish you good day. Again, sir.
Ah, thank you. Just put it down there, would you?
Yes.
And make out the bill.
I'll do that, sir. Excuse me, sir, but is it right that Sarah Fincham has been arrested for murdering that bargee fella?
No, she's merely helping us with our inquiries.
Well, there's a rumour going around the village that she's under suspicion.
Marriott. Look, if you're not too busy gossiping, perhaps you might help me with my bag. I gather it's not part of the service here.
I'll do that, sir.
Merely asking about Sarah Fincham.
What did it end?
Well, I'd like to know, Sergeant. You seem so sure of your ground. Are you certain about the daguerreotype?
No doubt about it at all. Family resemblance is remarkable. Boy is his grandson.
You seem so certain he was a changeling.
He's that too.
How can he be both?
Well, the picture showed Sir Radlett's mother. The females in the family have strong resemblances too.
Well, who does the mother resemble?
Sir Radlett's other daughter.
I didn't know he had another daughter.
No. Strongly kept secret, and Mrs. Fincham took it to the grave with her.
Mrs. Fincham? You mean Sarah is Sir Radlett's other daughter?
Yes, wrong side of the blanket. Nevertheless, his own flesh and blood. Still isn't the first time this sort of thing has happened. A master of the house having an affair with my lady's maid. Patriarch, indeed.
But what about the murder? He won't get away with that. What do we do?
I suggest we let sleeping dogs lie. And don't forget to settle the bill.